The Ohio Bobcats took care of business in their second home game of the year as they took down FCS opponent Gardner Webb 37-21. Ohio used a combination of Greg Windham and Quentin Maxwell at quarterback to score 4 touchdowns on their first 4 possessions and a balanced offensive attack with more than 200 yards rushing and 310 yards passing. Coming into this week's game, Ohio ranked 9th in the country in red zone appearances with 18 trips inside their opponent's 20-yard line. But Ohio only scored a touchdown on 7 of those 18 trips, which put them at 122nd in the nation in red zone touchdowns. They wasted no time in turning that around as the Bobcats scored 4 touchdowns on their first 4 possessions. The first 2 drives were led by Greg Windham, who connected with Sebastian Smith on a 17-yard touchdown, while Pappy White gave Ohio its second touchdown on a 14-yard run with 18 seconds left in the quarter. Frank Solich decided to go with redshirt freshman Quentin Maxwell on the third drive, with the Bobcats up by a touchdown. Maxwell wasted no time improving himself in his first college football appearance, leading the team on a 9-play, 60-yard drive, ending in another 17-yard touchdown to Sebastian Smith. The freshman hooked up with Smith once again on the next drive for a big 48-yard gain, putting the Bobcats inside the red zone. On 4th and 3, Ohio tacked on its 4th red zone touchdown on a 13-yard pass from Maxwell to Kyle Belak, giving Ohio a 28-7 lead. All 4 of those scoring drives included 4th down conversions from the Bobcats deep in Gardner Webb territory. Ohio's defense settled in after giving up the early touchdown and stopped the running Bulldogs on 4th down while also tacking on a safety 3 minutes before the half to make it 30-7. Ohio only scored once in the second half, but was never at risk of losing its lead as they picked up the 16-point win to improve their record to 2-2. Some big takeaways from the game were Ohio gaining more than 500 yards on offense, with Sebastian Smith picking up 2 touchdowns and his second game of 100-plus receiving yards. Maxwell looked impressive as well, throwing 11 for 14 for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ohio picked up 207 yards on the ground, but their depth at running back took another hit. A.J. Ouellette has been out with a foot injury, and Dorian Brown and Malik Irons also didn't play due to injuries. Pappy White started the game for Ohio, but he tweaked his knee in the first half and did not return, with his status for next week being questionable. His backup, Vinny Emmanuel, went down with a concussion in the second half, so Bo Hardy, who started the game at safety, went into the running back position and rushed for a team-high 65 yards on 15 carries and scored the Bobcats' lone second-half touchdown. With Ouellette and Emmanuel out and 3 other running backs listed as questionable, it's still up in the air for who will get playing time next week. One area Ohio needs to work at before next week is defense, as they gave up over 350 yards and 3 touchdowns to a running Bulldogs team that plays in the FCS. Ohio has its first MAC game of the year next week when they travel to Oxford to take on their rival, the Miami Redhawks, at 2 p.m. For WOUB Sports, I'm Justin Holbrook.